Hello and welcome to this video on the male HPV vaccine regime. The human papillomavirus is a virus that causes cervical cancer in women and at least genital warts in males, further to the rest of the spectrum this disease causes. There is a vaccine for it, and it is known by various brand names including Gardasil, Cervarix, and Gardasil 9. These will be collectively referred to as the HPV vaccine from here on. It has been given to young girls around the ages of 12 to 14 for at least the last 10 years. And this prevents both the intended virus and some cross-protection from other strains. This reduces the infection with these viruses, which further reduces the risk of cervical, vaginal, penile, and anal cancers by up to 90%. There is evidence that this has been successful so far in reducing the risk to young women in particular. In the last few years, this vaccine has increasingly been given to males as well. The question is, why would you provide a vaccine that works primarily on protecting female structures such as the cervix, and does so very effectively, to a male? This video will look at why it is being administered to males, and what effect this may have in the long term. HPV is very common, and easily moves between hosts. Condoms do not provide complete protection from HPV, as it does not cover all of the skin, which is the point of exchange. Statistically, most people will become infected over their life, and males are more at risk due to a higher number of sexual partners. This figure can be as high as up to 80%. Unfortunately, it is also significantly more likely in homosexual males, at nearly a 30-fold increase. You would not know if you are infected, as it is largely asymptomatic, with 90% of patients displaying no outward signs. On the extreme ends of the most common symptoms are genital warts, and on the other end is anal cancer. This is true for both men and women. And this leads into the first reason for giving the vaccine to males. It prevents the transfer or infection of women by men, or to men by men who have not had the vaccine. By only vaccinating women, there was still a large pool of males who may carry the virus, and it could be shared among homosexual and bisexual males, leading to a pool of hosts, even if every woman was given the vaccine. It is given to males around the ages of 12 to 14 in most countries that provide it, via government-sponsored vaccine programs. This is around the same time that puberty arrives, and shortly before sexual intercourse is likely to occur. There is an obvious second reason for giving this vaccine to men. It removes a strong risk factor relating to the development of a broad range of cancers, particularly notorious cancers such as anal or colon cancer, which are hard to identify and have diagnosed early, leading to a higher mortality rate. There are also incidences of neck and head cancer associated with HPV. The third reason is that it protects from penis, anal, and other cancers, a situation which no male would wish to be in. A simple 2-dose regime of HPV vaccine drastically reduces this risk. Finally, there is the usual range of reasons to vaccinate males which apply to all vaccines, herd immunity being the foremost. By prophylactically treating people who can be vaccinated, those who cannot are protected and have their risk of a nasty disease and later complications reduced by a significant margin. Unfortunately, this is not to say the HPV vaccine is perfect. There are also the obvious reasons not to vaccinate using this particular approach, these being allergies, bad reactions, and similar problems as you would find with most vaccines. This does not mean you should do so if possible, for yourself or your children. But if you are not in the majority who cannot be vaccinated, then there is no reason not to. Males get the HPV vaccine because it provides them with protection from a range of diseases, and especially insidious cancers. It removes a large pool of hosts, and finally it prevents infection from a male partner who was until recently not vaccinated. It will prevent the development of a pool of possible candidates who could carry the infection, or allow for the growth of a resistant variety. Thank you for watching this video. If you have found it helpful, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please post any comments, questions, or suggestions below.